Dear guests, we are ready to continue with our startup pitch competition, and I hope you will really enjoy it. We will have 16 projects and 4 jury, and I will give you a short overview about the conditions of the startup pitch contest. So every project will have 3 minutes to introduce themselves, and jury will have 1 minute to give a scratch feedback. And after this, we will have 3 winners, and jury will decide who is the winner of the startup pitch competition. So I'm very glad to have our jurists on the stage: Jürgen Hoebarth, Richard Hart, Olivier Rikken, and TAHA SAJID. Next project, which is Safe.Enter. Welcome on stage. You will have 3 minutes. Remember this, yeah? And the clicker if you want. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you for your attention. What I'm going to present for you today is not just a product. It's a new step in evolution of KYC industry. So everybody knows what is KYC. It's short from Know Your Customer. So as we all know, KYC procedure and verification are required by more and more every day online. So, and we all know where it's coming from, regulators. So every day regulators make new laws for everything. So however, our conference is called CryptoFin, so KYC and AML, it's what we need. We must admit that there is quite a few KYC providers operating on the market. After studies of these KYC providers, we discussed that there are all them lacking some features that generally makes users' experience a little awkward and cause some certain inconvenience. In addition to that, they are all quite expensive. As you can see, we are for free. No, bad one. Okay, we will start with this one. So, what we have done differently, we have created a unique and simple product with the lowest price on the market. Our new solution is equally simple for both business and users. Using our solution, the customer is passing KYC in real time, live, and it happens. After that, all the data about the KYC passed is saved on the user's mobile device. After the verification, the person can use it for every platform where our model is integrated. I read the paper, sorry, because our speaker guy is sick. So. Now I will tell you a bit more about our application, because the main thing in our business is application. We don't do KYC through the browser. So our application Safe.Enter includes digital document that used for authentication, two-factor verification, and digital signature at the same time. This digital document also contains the data about completing the KYC procedure. All the data that kept in the application can be passed to the service provider immediately, but only with the user's authorization. So what is the benefit for everyone using this service? Main benefit is time. Usually it could take up to several days to get verified each time on each different service. So we are offering everything is for free for everybody. It is simple, user-friendly application. That's it. Thank you.
You're stealing my question.
There's one question: if you're for free, how do you make money? So
money will be a little bit later because we give you 2FA, fast onboarding, digital everything right now for free.
You basically just make it for free in the beginning, board on users, and then you charge.
Then we charge 50 cents for one verification.
Yeah, but then you cannot call it for free, sorry. Because
yes, free, half year, 1 year for free, yeah. Yeah.
I give you free burgers and then
yes,
for half a year, and then I have to close down.
Yes, yes, because right now on the market average...
Sorry, there's too much competition.
Okay.
Next.
So you're trying to compete with Jumio, I guess?
Yes,
that's what everyone already uses?
yes.
Do you know what they charge per customer?
Yes, from 1.5 till 2.5 euro per verification, and plus first connection from 2 to 15,000 euro.
So you're basically trying to cut their fees.
Yes, yes, cut the fees, and the point is because they're using web browser with application to make verification. I think it's stupid because we use only mobile phone. So nobody use browser to download some documents, photos, and other stuff. So we don't use any browser, we use only our app.
So I think that your customer base, since it is enterprises only, is going to care about things that you didn't pitch. So as an enterprise user, I care about you stealing or otherwise losing all of my customers' data, which happens over and over and over again.
No, no, we don't steal because every user goes to you.
I don't mean, I'm not accusing you of theft. I'm saying that your sales pitch needs to address the issues of the people that will be writing you checks, which are not the audience and not the users. The users are relevant to you.
For business, it's saving time. Yeah.
Right. So you need to speak to security, and since you really only have one real competitor, I would focus on those cost differences. So I would just edit your sales pitch to address the people that will be writing you checks.
Thank you. Yep, thanks.
Olivier?
Yeah, I'm quite puzzled with the free part as well.
Okay.
I know there is a lot of competition, and you're mentioning one, but I know a very strong one in the Netherlands as well. They don't use blockchain technology for a reason that is quite valid in this case. I'm wondering how the process will look like in the fact that you store it on your telephone, but how do you prove to somebody else that it's a legit document? They have to go through you, and we still have to trust you in this case.
Why you trust Jumio? Why you trust Anfida?
No, but I built and designed a solution for somebody else where you can share a copy in the end off-chain with the other part and still prove that it's the valid copy that you scanned in the first place. So that's something you have to think through later on.
Okay, thank you.
Taha, please.
Actually, for your sales pitch, you need to be a bit more of interactive. You cannot, listen or read the paper. If your colleague is sick, so there is, it's not an excuse, to be honest, So you have to work like you have to prepare an alternative who can pitch up rightly. So that's
okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Give them
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So we are happy to have our next startup pitch competitor, WilesHaven.com. Here you go.
That's gonna be funny. So, hi everyone. Hi guys. So I'm gonna tell you about what we've built and about the way how you can swap cryptocurrency. So something that people haven't yet tried for how technical it is and how complex it is. So we've built a platform where you come as a buyer, you open an auction, and you say, I want to swap like X amount of cryptocurrency. After that, people start making a bid. So how the bid happens? It's, so first of all, there is always a current market price on your asset, and people are bidding on that in terms of margin or discount from that. So your auction in this way can stay for a long time, for days, and will still be relevant for like buyer to come in because you keep his incentive to participate in the auction. So once you find your buyer, you proceed to the deal. And the way how you actually do the deal, the platform creates a multi-sig with both buyer and seller, and they start uploading, they upload the funds on that multi-sigs. So your money won't be able to go anywhere without your direct consent because you are keeping the one signature. It requires one of your signatures. So the only way how you can do the deal is like you provide the confirmation on the transaction, how to, like the transaction to the other party. And once platform has both transactions in place, it confirms these transactions and the money are released and the swap happens. Besides that, this scenario actually allows multiple sales scenarios, like one-to-one or one-to-many. Another thing that we have on the platform is it's optional KYC. So we cover both spectrums. We cover the interest of people who want to stay private, of the privacy con users, but we still support those people who want to go for a fully open KYC AML procedure. So for example, if you're a minor, you can come to the platform, you provide all the documents saying like, I mined this Bitcoin, I spent X amount of money on my electricity, here's it. Then there's coming like entity, well, business entity, right? Saying like, okay, this is what I need, right? Here's like all the documents and I'm willing to buy it because that entity is playing like for 3 years ahead. So like, but for the miner, you keep the incentive, right? You keep, like he's gonna be incentivized by selling it like more than the market. Well, I would say that's pretty much it, and I'm really looking forward to the questions.
Thank you.
The first question that pops into mind, you're creating a multi-sig in a deal. That's basically something we built with Swarm City 3 years ago already, where there's a deal for need a right, but this is I need a Bitcoin. What if you run into a dispute in a deal and one of the two parties decides not to sign? Then you lock it up automatically for a very long time.
Yeah, so that's a good question. And you have only 4 hours to make the deal, right? So the platform doesn't keep your money, right? It always like stays on the blockchain. Once somebody decides to cancel the deal, right? It's the deal is like the platform signs the releasing transaction back to its original address,
okay, but
and the money released.
After an X amount, one of the parties can cancel the transaction if it was not.
It's possible, but you will get the penalty rate for that.
Okay. Why would I use your service? Because if I'm a large miner, my APIs just get OTC deals. If I'm a small miner, I'm just liquidated on an exchange. If I want to swap tokens, I go on Uniswap and all those guys.
So there are 3 ways, like 3 target groups that we want to approach. The first target group is privacy coin communities and stable coins. For these guys, we're creating the value straight from the day 8, like right once we release, right?
But how do you compete against the Kyber or Republic Protocol, which is doing this already like since years?
We're okay, so can these guys provide, can you provide your KYC and like stuff? Sorry.
If transaction a certain amount, and like if I'm a large miner like Bitmain, they liquidate on their own anyway.
I think you'll find that in the distributed finance ecosystem, the majority of the winners are those that don't have to fill a buyer and a seller. They kind of have the contract as the counterparty, and then it can accept as many users as it wants, so to speak. So if you try and start your own eBay, no one will list with you because you have no buyers, and you just have to fill both sides. So it seems like you're fighting a latency battle, and if anyone can get a better deal, they'll just let their reputation fall out. So you're going to lose on speed to a centralized service. You're going to lose to liquidity with a centralized, like the centralized service is going to have greater liquidity, faster execution speed, a greater critical mass head start against you. I don't think that your product is superior enough, if at all, to displace those entrenched entities that already serve everyone. I mean, if you look at the volume DEXs do, it's rather pitiful compared to the volume that normal exchanges or let alone margin exchanges do. I think you have an uphill battle. If there's some way that you could try and transition this product to not require to fill both the bid and ask side and to just kind of make the contract the counterparty, I don't know how you end up doing that, because it seems like you're trying to do atomic swaps, but with you as an arbiter and with a timing system as an arbiter, and I don't know.
It's a centralized system with decentralized deals.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, I spoke with quite a few guys from the industry, people who are actually running the platforms for swapping, and I already got funding from these guys, right? And those people who know the industry backgrounds, and they support me with their money.
Users, then you can disregard my advice entirely. Real users trumps theory, right?
But even Shapeshift struggles, to be honest.
So Shapeshift is a different story, right? So we are particularly targeting the OTC market. So the OTC market is the place where we give the actual value to the users, and there's like 3 main groups to which we're giving the market like the value, right? So the first 2 groups is like it's privacy coins, stable coins. Those guys are like, in first case they are like care about their privacy, and second one care about their liquidity, right? Second target, and it's like a second stage of the platform, is when we provide a one-to-many swap. So for example, you have 1 million of X tokens and you want to come and do this deal. You can't do it like on a normal exchange because you drop the price. You come to the platform and you say like, I want to swap it, like I want to sell it for -5% from the current market price, right? So people start coming and you shred the deal, right, between each single party. And on a day X, on a time X, right? So platforms start closing all these deals. This is impossible on atomic swap. And the third thing is what I mentioned already about like this is a third step when we have volumes, right? When we get to the volumes, we are able to provide initiative to miners to come to the platform and to match them with the business entities.
Okay, thank you so much for your speech. We need to move forward. Thank you so much. Our next startup is Wonderbit, please. Welcome on stage. Yeah.
Hello. My name is Kirill Solenko and I'm a co-founder at Wunderbit. Wunderbit is a fintech company. We started as a crypto brokerage. We also have the crypto commerce, and today we're going to talk about a social trading platform. And this is a social trading platform which brings together people who would like to invest in crypto and those who know how to do this intelligently. So let's go to the example straight away. On the one side of this crypto social trading, you will have traders. And let's come up with a trader. His name is Bob. He would like to receive more from his trading, and he can do this by increasing the number of trades or invest more money of his own into the trading process. And our platform can help him out with that. Through our automated trading system, he can preset his strategy, and the strategy will be executed automatically. And if he's successful and profitable in terms of the consistency, he will be granted access to investors' capital. And for a trader, it's completely free to register and trade on our platform. Let's go to the other side of this marketplace, and those are investors. So imagine you bought the Bitcoin when it was 17,000, 20,000, and from that moment, steadily, it was going down for almost 2 years. So if you exit right now, you will be definitely accepting a loss. We have no idea whether Bitcoin is going to increase in price or decrease further, but what we can do through our trading platform is to accumulate more of that Bitcoin through trading. So if an investor will select and engage into the activity with one of the traders, this is exactly what he will be doing. So let's look at the profit sharing idea. You're an investor, you have 1 Bitcoin, and within the first month, the trader will earn you 0.3 or 30%. Only out of that profit will be trader's commission. So out of that profit, there will be a portion of trader's commission and also the platform commission as well. So I wouldn't tell you about this slide. You know about the market size, and that is significant. What's most important is that we just launched in September, and within the first year we would like to sign up 200 traders and 550 investors, and based on that, within the next year the turnover should be around 28 million. The commissions which are coming from the profitable trades, and also for extra APIs which are subscribed to which our investors subscribing to, will be charged a monthly subscription on that. Market competition, very quick analysis. Some of the platforms were launched at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, but they do have crucial drawbacks, and one of them is the barriers to entry in terms of the high subscription cost or limitations in terms of the volume of trading. In our case, for traders, it's completely free of charge. You can start trading, register and start trading with your own money. Thank you.
Okay, we start with Taha. Can you give you some scratch feedback, please?
I really like your presentation.
Thank you.
I like your confidence as well. I have one question. Who is your current market competitor?
The main one, I would say, if we're talking about crypto sideways, it's eToro. eToro is quite big in copy trading as well, but they have a crucial difference. They store all the funds and they have a huge commission on top of that. They're doing it themselves. This is the crucial difference. In terms of the cryptocurrency in particular, there is a company called TradeMate. They also doing copy trading. The difference there is that they prefer to do it as trader to trader. So a less experienced trader will follow a more experienced trader. In our way, for our brokerage system, we invite traditional investors, let's put it this way. So they can enter with a fiat currency through our crypto brokerage and then make their crypto work by adding someone as a trader for our trading platform.
Oh, thank you.
You mentioned in your presentation that you have carefully selected traders, so there's no risk for investors there. How do you deal with an accountability? Do you take the accountability for the traders making mistakes, you as a company?
No, not in particular, but we do have certain instruments in place to lower the risk, let's put it this way. So first thing first, trader must trade with his own funds as well. Otherwise, there will be a mess. Secondly, there should be a proportion kept in place. So 1 to 5 is a good proportion as we calculated it. So for each 1,000 that a trader is trading, he can acquire only up to 5,000 of investors' funds, not more than that. This will keep the risk-reward ratio in a quite a good place for him, and he will not accept a huge amount of risk. But before he actually grants the access to the investor's capital, he has to pass the 3-month probation period, based on purely on his statistics. So the number of trades, the drawback during the deal, so how much was the set-off, the risk-reward, the Sharpe ratio. Based on that, the system will determine whether he can be visible to a potential investor or not. If not, he can carry on trading on our platform. There is no drawbacks on that, but he will not be granted access to additional capital.
Thank you. Richard, your scratch feedback, please.
I don't think your numbers on your spreadsheet made sense. You showed that you wanted to put on 550 investors and 200 traders, then your turnover would be 28 million. That seems like a lot of money from 750 people.
That's true. That's calculated based on the normal distribution about the amount of money that people on both sides, the investor and traders, are willing to input. So before we started with that project, there was a quick research, I would put it in this way, and basically we understood that the number that the investors are willing to invest are twice as much or 3 times as much as the trader who is actually willing to trade with them. So based on this proportion, those numbers were calculated. And just to clarify that within the first year, we hope to achieve the targets in terms of the number of people signing up, and then only with the next 12 months to see this turnover by the end of the second year.
So we're talking about 35K per trader.
Yes.
No, I think the model definitely will work. The only question is, as you mentioned, there's like eToro, and the founder of eToro is having crypto, so he knows the game very well. So you have the same product, he has the users. It costs you like $200 to acquire a user of that size.
Yes. Well,
there's something like Wikifolio, you maybe know as well. Wikifolio, it's called. They do it with stock market, very similar model like you. They have already like users. I think you can run a business out of it if it's a proper multi-million-dollar investment case. If you figure out how to onboard users, yes.
One of the ideas here, just to add up onto your point, we obviously know that the eToro is a huge competitor, and the size of it, obviously. One of the ideas is that in order to make it more appealing,
go institutional. I mean, what you can do is like talk with funds.
Yep.
Because eToro is targeting retailers.
Yep.
What you do if this is like a proper custodian and everything solution, and you target funds and say, okay, give me 100,000, is a little bit less for a fund. But something like this, go for family offices, then it makes sense because a family office doesn't sign up on it.
That's exactly what we're planning to do, because Wunderbit would be one of the traders on the platform.
Yeah, and make deals with exchanges as a white label product on top.
Yes, yes. That's current negotiations with Kraken.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Then you're solved out anyway, come on.
We welcome our next startup, Valega Chain.
Hi, thank you very much. We have Valega Chain. We have identified a few of the challenges with compliance within the crypto sector. One of them is actually not having the proper solutions in place. That has been a major issue. Regulations that are coming in all the time really have been putting companies out of business. And the amount of money spent on compliance by companies is just not really feasible for companies who are just starting up. So what are we offering? What we have built is a transaction monitoring tool that does real-time data analysis. We have a payment risk inspector that helps mitigate risky transactions, risky payments, sorry, and other things like labeling transactions on cryptocurrency exchanges and such, just to name a few. We also have auto-generated police reports that can be used by these companies, fully encompassing KYC solutions, requests for detailed forensic transaction reports, which can be used in court. And also through our Pathfinder, you can do your own risk assessment. Our business model is simple. It's a software as a service. So you connect with our API, you pay a monthly fee. Companies are just starting up will have a lower price that they can pay, whilst exchanges will have a set price, but still much lower than our competitors. Private customers do a fee per search, and law enforcement agencies, it's a cost per hour kind of thing. Why now? Well, that is because the regulations that are coming in very quickly, they are just going to be forcing everybody to kind of be compliant with these things, especially in Europe, Latin America, USA, and such. Where do we stand apart from the competitors? Well, we're very user-friendly. We're very easy to use. You don't need to have any massive expertise investigation to use us, and we have a much lower cost, and we also provide a lot of personal service. We are doing a fundraising soon in a couple months. We're asking for 400,000 for 19% of the company, which will give us an 18-month runway. You can talk to us about that later. And just about us in general, we were started in 2019. We're the first company of its sort in the Nordics to get a full government grant to actually pursue this kind of technology. And we have a ready solution that is just ready to be really commercialized. Team, we're business developers, investment bankers, leading people within compliance, and of course, the backbone of everything, technology developers and forensic investigators. That's about it. Thank you.
Perfect, you are on time. we will start with Jürgen.
I think definitely the business case there, the question is also to how easy it is to copy, because like having just a better user experience is easy to copy. So if that's not a differentiator, I think a differentiator is maybe if you say you have a license in the Nordics, because I don't know how is it needed, so maybe you're the only one which can provide to that segment of the market a solution, where others cannot do it.
Yeah, so we actually collaborate with government and law enforcement agencies quite a lot. So we have gained quite a lot of trust with that, especially because we had one case with a law enforcement agency, I cannot name who, but they were using our competitors, and it took them almost 4 months to get anywhere, and within 72 hours we already managed to help them actually find, for example, an exchange. So we do rely a lot on the trust that we are gaining with these organizations.
And your market is globally or just regional?
Right now, we have been working with the Nordics mainly, but we are ready to actually really commercialize in Europe, in Latin America, and what you were saying there, for example, easy to copy. Well, you know, one of the biggest competitors, they've been around for a while. They have a lot of data. Yeah, that's one.
Sorry, which one?
Chain analysis, yeah. And what we feel is that their software in general is extremely complex to use, right?
Yeah, but they have a lot of power behind it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know, it's not too easy to pitch it to the investors later on of why they lowered their prices so much. So I think that kind of helps us a little bit as well. And you know, we do.
Well, there's definitely the market because they don't focus on Europe.
Yeah.
I thought your pitch was great. You put a specific dollar amount on how much money you wanted. You said how much of the company you'd get for it. You said how much runway you're going to get. You showed that you did have competitors. You didn't bullshit about what the use case is. It's a very realistic use case. Unfortunately, governments put a gun to exchanges' head and make them use this stuff whether they want to or not. Yeah, I thought that was all pretty fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it was good and short. What I want to ask you is that what sort of data you want to give to the government? Is it a compliance data or whatever information you're storing on top of blockchain or any tool you are giving all to that? Or you're...
Yeah, so I mean, the data is out there. Like if you have a forensic team that is skilled enough to actually pursue this kind of data, you will get it. The only thing we're doing is making it easier for those agencies to actually get to the point quicker. And that is really to protect our clients. That's the idea. our clients are the crypto community. It is the exchanges. It is banks who one day might start really implementing blockchain technology to do transactions. And if we can help them on the way to really provide a good service and actually give them this quick runway or quick path to actually filter out the bad seeds, then we think that not only will regulators be a lot more accepting of what we're trying to do here, but also we can have some lobby power to try and really pursue the regulations that we feel is well beneficial for scaling of not only cryptocurrency but blockchain as a whole.
Olivier, please.
No, nothing more to add other than
Okay.
the things that were already said.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Our next startup is ShareHub. 3 minutes.
Hey, I'm Philip. So I'm the founder of ShareHub GmbH. So if you're German, you may know that we are an NPO. So what are we doing? So we are ShareHub, the platform. Let's start with a quick question. So who has been to West Africa? No one? Well, Sierra Leone? Okay. Maybe you know then Contea. So she's happy till her parents were murdered. So she's a girl, she's 3 years old, and she's living in the poorest country of the world. So what should she do? What is it we're aiming for, like as people, as humans, as humankind? And what is it that motivates us, like personally, country-specific, look to, I don't know, Europe, Great Britain, with the Brexit, the US, China, and all of us. So, and what is it like personally? What do you want to change? So your life, others' life, or the life of all of us? So that are questions that I'm struggling with right now, and that's why I founded ShareHub. So what does ShareHub do? So with ShareHub, you can donate easily and at no cost. The targeted donation to Contea saves costs, resources, and valuable time. Your very personal donation gets to 100% to her. This is made possible by the use of the DLT, blockchain. The donation will be forwarded directly to Contea via cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or Ethereum. And we use payment providers such as PixPay, IQ Cash Now to make the transaction, KYC, money laundering, all of that. So we use, or who can use that? Like the donator side is like individuals, foundations, research institutions, everyone. And the problem is that I don't know any other charity which guarantees that 100% of the donation will get there. I love Share the Meal, but like 90% of the money will get to the children for meals. Then there are microcredit companies like Kiva, which they take interest like 30% or 100. And you may ask, so what is my unfair advantage? It's like the knowledge of cryptocurrencies, of blockchain, finance, consulting, donations, network, people, the vision, strategy, and the passion. I have lots of free volunteers, like developers, attorneys, marketing specialists, founders, CEOs. And yeah, we are targeting countries like Sierra Leone, developing market, then second Europe. And in the future, we will make it possible, yeah, to share hope.
So I think your project's going to fail entirely because I don't think you really understand what it's like to be poor and have your parents executed. If that girl has access to money, she will get the shit kicked out of her and that money will be taken from her. Or if people realize that she has access to money, she will be forced to give it to the people that are stronger than her and larger than her, which is why her family is dead in the first place, because that place is fucked up. So if you want to make fucked up places better, it turns out that you can't just throw money at them, because the money goes to the same people that fucked the place up in the first place. So when you say something like you're going to be able to deliver 100% of the funds to that kid, in reality what you'll be doing is delivering 100% of those funds to the person that are making her life worse. You're not the first person to come up with the idea of throwing money at Africa and trying to solve things. And as much money has been thrown there, things have not gotten much better. So at best case, in order to actually see her life become better, you need to see those funds turned into food or shelter or opportunity, and all of that is overhead, which subtracts from your 100%. And I don't think you, with your crypto knowledge, have a chance in hell of making an impact in that faraway place on top of the guys that actually live there and fight with it every day and have efficiency ratios of maybe maximum 70%.
Thanks for pointing that out. That's why we don't fund her. We found Save the Young Girls Foundation, you can see here. It's recognized by Sierra Leone as an organization which is for child and welfare. So we are working together with the United Nations. So that's the
Well, then don't mention the girl, just talk about who you're working with. Skip the girl.
No, she's the girl who will survive because you fund her. And the money goes not to her directly, but to Save the Young Girls Foundation, and they will provide her with food, education, eating,
So why
stuff
don't
like
I
that.
just skip you and give them the money?
I do. I just tell
Do
you a
work-
story.
Do you work for free? The 100% thing is going to, anyone with a brain is never going to want to hear the word 100%.
You know that there are countries like Germany or the EU who will give like 100 millions of euro for such kinds. So, yeah, I know what you're targeting at. Like, you as a donator, you pay, let's say, 100 euro, and 100 euro will get there. But we have costs, of course,
I
but
would
not
go to
like
GiveWell.org,
UNICEF.
who already ranks charities by their efficiency
Yeah.
of this metric, and I'll take their number over your number. So whoever they say does the best job is who I'm going to throw my money at.
Yeah. So they are like, how many people work at UNICEF?
Where?
UNICEF or
Where?
UNO.
I don't know what that is. The UNO?
UNICEF? It's one of the
UNICEF.
biggest charity in the
Yeah,
world.
we just have a language problem. I don't know how many people work at UNICEF.
So
and I don't
that's
think
why.
they have the best track record of sending their money the right,
Right.
place.
So that's why they are so expensive. We have like no one who earns anything.
Right, but we can skip you and just give it to the guys that you're giving it to.
Yeah.
I can give them a crypto wallet for free.
Yeah.
They don't need you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
then
only
give
thing you
it
could do
to
is
him.
market for them, maybe. And then you should get money from them to
But
do
how
that,
do you
so you can
finance
scale your
your own
marketing
business?
efforts.
I work as a consultant for BMW and MAN. I earn
So
my money
basically
there.
it's a social
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is a pitch here, so people would assume you ask for money. That's why the question is, the thing what you do is just you're giving back to society and want to build something good.
Right.
I have.
Just
I would
post their
say,
address up here instead.
I would say I like the cause and I like the idea, and I've worked on a charity project myself using blockchain, but you have to take it one step further, where you as a donator can still have some sort of say in the donated part by getting a certain voting power on the projects that you invest in, and they have to report back that they are still doing right. And
Yeah.
so on.
A little
So
bit of entertainment
I
concept.
think in a basic, it can be a good idea, but you have to take it 1, 2, 3 steps
We did.
deeper. Yeah.
So, like a friend of mine, she was there for a couple of years to work at the Save the Young Girls Foundation. So
Yeah.
we do the audit together with the United Nations and foundations like Melinda and Bill Gates that will be in the future. So we already audited that project.
No, it's not auditing this, but I think you can,
He's saying
using
make it
blockchain
sticky.
technology, you can take it one step further, but I can take it offline with you.
But
You
he
know,
can't,
we've-
right?
I
He's
found
isolated
it-
by the company that has physical contact.
I
He
found it-
suggested it.
Sorry? I found
You're
it-
isolated from the kids by the company that's actually working with them and interacting with them. So to execute his idea of increasing stickiness and having a more emotional pitch by seeing the photo of the person you're helping and naming them by name, which is the only reason we're doing that, right? There's statistics to us while we're sitting here, but as we give them names and we give them faces and we create stickiness, then people have a reason to continue to give beyond just the one time, right? So I'm saying your idea is great. He can't do it because he's just filtered through the company that really has interaction with the girl.
And
You
just
know,
to add something over
I
here.
founded a company 2 months ago, and we are like bootstrapping it because we don't take any money. So I founded and financed it myself, together with my dad. And we will give like the donators every foundation there is in the world if we audited them, and we say, yeah, they are doing good work. And then you could donate to whoever you like.
Taha, do you have
Yeah,
something
just to add something, your platform should be able to understand that whether he's the right person to be able to get that donation or not, and what they are doing it for this donation. Okay, you can use some AI or some machine learning algorithm, not just blockchain. Okay, okay? And secondly, you should not rely on any third party like Unisco or something, you know, your platform should be able to do this thing if you want to get the investors in, you know, because they don't want, you are selling them your solution, you are not selling them Unisco or something else, you know? So you have to make sure that your platform is complete end to end before you pitch someone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next project is Expi.trade. Welcome on stage.
Hello everybody, my name is Konstantin. I'm the operation officer of the group of companies. It's my first public presentation, so please be patient. I have just 2.5 minutes. So briefly I will explain who we are and what we are doing. So we already developed the Capital P fund. It's a licensed Dutch fund for sophisticated investors. Expi.trade, that's the Estonian licensed exchange where the clients can trade with each other, and it's going to start production in a couple of weeks. And Crypto P fund is the company which provides advisory and investments in crypto area. So now we are investing in top cryptocurrencies and thinking about investing in mining projects in Europe, in countries with the low price of electricity, let's say like Bosnia and Serbia, we have connection there. You can see also here a bit of the advantages of our company. And our main startup is to build an ecosystem where the final customer can see all the statements, etc. for, let's say, each of our products. So, and one more thing, we are developing the new type of network of ATM machines, which will work like at terminals also, and the customer can provide the identification for each of white labels, which I've mentioned already. So that's our know-how. As I told you before, that network of ATM machine can attract new white labels, so you can put your white label inside, so your final customer can operate by this, can get cash from, let's say, selling Bitcoin, or send the money to his IBAN or another account, or send funds to his international payment cards, etc. So that's our startup. So we are thinking that we are already a startup group because we are already hungry to do something new. Thank you.
Coming from the Netherlands, you kind of triggered me there. Can you explain me the difference with parties like Maven 11, Cyber Capital? These are all parties that are qualified for suited investors, say and that means nothing more than you have 100K plus to invest. So you don't fall under regulation?
Yes, we are under the regulation.
Yeah, but you say to certain investors, that's the 100K plus category, that is the easy category, anybody can get a license from that. Just go to the counter, basically. And then, so we have a couple of them, and these are guys, Maven 11, the 11 comes from the fact that these are in place since 2011. These guys are really experienced and know their market. So what is your competitive advantage, especially if you guarantee 9% return on a year? Which is, what is it that makes you different than these guys?
You know, I guess
because then it becomes very interesting.
Yes. I just started to 9% is not the guarantee. It's the result for previous year.
Okay.
For 218.
It's like lending. I can do lending. I get the same amount.
Excuse me?
For you, it's like you have like 5 companies in one, I think. You have fund, an exchange, an own blockchain, an advisory. So how many people are you already? Like 60?
in our team, more than 20, 25.
Okay.
One question I have. What sort of cybersecurity measures that you have kept in your solution? As you are playing with people's money, so what sort of measures that you have taken to avoid cybersecurity attacks or something like of this sort?
Sorry, I'm not sure that I understand properly the question.
Like to attack, like if there are some hackers who want to attack your system and take away the money. So what sort of measures have you taken to avoid those attacks?
Okay, we really take care about the security. That's the key question for us. And our exchange, for instance, our exchange platform, the great specialists working for the software, and they are providing, they are doing this for Corda protocol. As I know, that's very.
No, but why do you build an exchange? There are like 2,000 exchanges already out in the market. You're competing on, like, there's like traditional funds, crypto funds. You're competing on that front. On the exchange funds, you're competing. You compete in all your 4 core businesses. You're competing against each. So what's your advantage? Is it like you have some hidden funds? You can just do this and outcompete everyone else the next 10 years?
I will explain. It's very easy. It's very easy answer for us. It's the most clear situation for us, because we are all institutional guys. We came from the banking system, and the customers.
Then you think the crypto guys give you the money? Mostly not.
And the customers are coming from that institutional sphere, and they're trusting us, and they know that we are reliable guys, and we are doing the good product.
So basically what you're leveraging is your existing network. That's your unfair advantage, that you have already established contacts.
Yes, more or less. We now, our funds are looking like family funds right now, and we just now starting the way to the retail. We just on the start of that way.
Interesting, because for an exchange alone in Europe, you need like 200 to 300 million to get the track.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. Our next project is Cashaa. Welcome on stage.
I think we're still hot.
If you are a crypto-related business, chances are you've had your problems with existing banks. Existing banks are likely going to decline your application, or if you have an account, then you may have it cancelled anytime, such as it happened recently to Coinbase with their account which they had in Barclays. Also, in the crypto-friendly countries such as Estonia, it is nearly impossible to open an account. Here's an example with Santander, one of the largest UK banks. If you say to this question whether you have to do with cryptocurrency, yes, then the application ends right away. We're here to solve that. Existing banks, but also challenger banks, do not know or are not able to deal with cryptocurrency transactions. They only have the tools and frameworks in place to ensure compliance of fiat, but not of crypto. Whereas we have that, so we can do what we're doing. We are a banking platform, we have a live product, we launched in May this year, and we have 700 crypto businesses signed up. What we do so far, GBP current accounts, we in this month also have Euro and USD. We also give very affordable cards processing. We have all the local and international transactions which business need enabled, such as SWIFT, FPS, SEPA, and so on. We also have a crypto payment gateway, and for non-European business, we also support with incorporation. Now, concerning cryptocurrency, we have the multi-sig wallet, where we have the compliance tracking tools to make sure that you do not have to do with bad actors. So every transaction, every address gets a risk score, and you can decide, do you allow it or not? Now, we are working with regulated entities for all of the currencies, so we have partners that are ensuring the compliance. We have different account plans for your business needs, whether you are only wanting to have to do with cryptocurrency, and then our standard and advanced are those who also want the fiat banking. So standard is for any low-risk business, and advanced is for any high-risk business, such as cryptocurrency related. Our roadmap is also to target other high-risk industries. So in next year, other than launching personal accounts, we will also target businesses from other industries such as gaming and gambling. We will also have the mobile app. We will also add more cryptocurrencies to our multi-sig wallet as long as they can be made compliant, and opening a new office and reaching out to a wider audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Just to be clear, does Kashia itself has a full banking license then?
No, we are not a bank ourselves, but we are a banking platform. So the accounts are opened by the regulated partners, which are EMIs or other institutions. So we have different partners for each of the currencies, and they are doing the compliance, they are holding the funds, or yes.
So are you opening then bank accounts for crypto companies? I'm a bit lost, sorry.
Yes,
White label or?
we are a platform where crypto businesses can get both the fiat and the crypto features. So it's like all in one place.
You are opening then the bank account for their behalf, kind of a white labeling thing you said. Or
It's a partnership. So
Something like
the-
Wirecard or something.
they are doing the compliance, they are making the decisions. If they are accepting someone, they are ongoing monitoring the transactions, and we are aggregating it all from these different partners. So from UK partner, Euro partner, and then combining it with the crypto wallet all in one place with the exchange function and all of that. So it for the end user looks like it's all one together. So that is very nice to have all your assets manageable easily in one place.
I think the business sounds as good as your banking partners will allow it to continue.
yeah, that's
So-
my main concern, because
Yeah.
if your bank is going to say, hey, you're basically another link in a chain where we don't want a direct connection, it's just a matter of time before they're going to cut off your connection.
Yes, so we are
how
very
do you circumnavigate that?
So we are very much focused on not letting that happen. So we are focused on having multiple partners. So the goal is to have a backup for each of the currencies. So if anything ever should go wrong with any of them, that there is always a backup. And so that's what me and the rest of the
I hope
team
it
is
works,
working on.
because getting banks as a crypto company is nearly impossible. And,
You're
so-
trying to tackle a serious problem for the industry, that's for sure. But,
No, the question is basically, what's your war chest? So how much capital do you have to be a substantial player in the market?
Right now we have 2 years of runway. And we have all these business sign-ups since April, so 700 crypto business. And that is just from targeting just crypto. So once we open to a wider audience, and then we expect more influx. So we may do a funding round next year, but we may also not need it. So
Yeah, it's basically someone will win that game, definitely. The question is, do you have enough funds to be the one who is winning?
Okay.
So if anyone is interested to participate in the round, which we are planning to do next year, then they can approach me, obviously.
Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you. Our next startup, altFINS, welcome on stage.
Thank you. So by way of background, for almost 20 years I've worked in the traditional financial industry as an equity research analyst, as a portfolio manager on the asset management side. And when I got involved with crypto a couple of years ago, I quickly became very frustrated with the lack of tools and data and analytics for me to analyze the blockchain projects underlying the cryptocurrencies. So what we've decided to create at altFINS, which stands for Altcoin Financials, is to create a comprehensive analytical platform sort of like the Bloomberg, is our vision for cryptocurrencies. They will have both the technical indicator as well as fundamental data on the altcoins or cryptocurrencies. And this is not working. Should I be aiming at something? Oh, here we go. So the problems that we've encountered as a traders and investors is that the industry is very fragmented, right? We currently are pulling data from 200 cryptocurrencies, which is a big data challenge in itself. We're also building the robust tools that are lacking for analytical sort of analysis of the cryptocurrencies. And like I said, it's a really massive data problem because we're actually ingesting 300 million data points a day and calculating, doing about 1 billion calculations on top of that to calculate the analytics. So our total solution is going to be very comprehensive. I'll just mention a couple of things. One of them is the marketplace. So there's been, there are in existence a number of very good sort of startups in the fundamental data area. Companies that are getting data, sentiment data on cryptocurrencies, on-chain data analyses, developer sort of data from GitHub, and so on. And we want to create a marketplace for all these data providers to come to our platform. Some data will be available for free, and others will be sort of for premium subscription. But basically, you'll have one unified dashboard to analyze both the technical indicators as well as the fundamental data from these third-party providers as well. So that's us. I think I'm running out of time, so
it seems all right. Do you understand? Is there a competitor that is doing well in a business similar to yours?
In the crypto area, there is one competitor for, so each segment has sort of a competitor. On the technical indicator side, there's TradingView, which is very solid, but they don't have fundamental data, they don't have trading across multiple exchanges, and they don't have post-trade analysis such as P&L and NAV calculations on a historical basis, as well as some risk measures.
How large do you think is your market size?
How big is the market size? So we expect that we'll have both retail and institutional investors as clients. When you look at the number of Bloomberg terminals out there and Capital IQ terminals and so on, there's about 700,000 sort of terminals for professional institutional clients. And then, your estimate on the retail side is good as mine, but
So you end up to be an icon on the Bloomberg trading desk, or you want to replace the Bloomberg trading desk?
We're definitely not going to replace it, but we'll be another Bloomberg type of service for crypto-oriented investors. All will be a subsection of the existing platforms that exist out there.
Because I know a couple of projects which tried to do the same the last years, and most of them somehow failed. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. I think you might want to, as altcoins are getting the shit kicked out of them, you might want to differentiate your product and focus more on perhaps the blue chip, which seems to have more longevity, which would be Bitcoin, or at least things that are in the top 10.
If you do a pitch now, just say you do this with security tokens.
Yeah, I mean, I am a trader, and I'm not sure why I would want your product, right? So I've got TradingView Pro and all the indicators I could ever want. I could sign up for fundamental stuff from the block, or, I don't know why I would sign up for your product. For people that suck at trading and they think they can follow someone else and they think that works, copy trading was a good pitch from the earlier guy, right? It's obviously working for eToro at mass scale. I think that your pitch is a little less effective than that, because your target market isn't just noobs that want to invest. It's technically advanced traders that aren't well served by TradingView, which everyone uses, or the numerous, other free, like a lot of people just look up altcoin prices on CoinMarketCap, and it's actually not that bad, right? You can see what volume's trading on which exchanges. I just think you're addressing a very small market. I would almost tell you to pivot out of crypto and into these same tools for things that do more volume and traditional legacy, and I think you do 10x better with a 10x larger market. And it's the same tools. Like, you don't care. It's just an API that you're reading and doing processing on. You could do that for normal stocks instead of altcoins that are just dying.
Well, that's true on the technical side, but not true on the fundamental side, right? The fundamental data on cryptocurrencies is vastly different, on-chain data and so forth.
They have on Telegram.
Right. Like what do you consider fundamental data?
It's like fundamental users, 10,000 users on Telegram, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're tracking activity. Then the first thing is guys are letting bots run to basically trick your.
So, and again, you're right. There's a lot of altcoins that are dying and then have lack of liquidity. But we're building this with the assumption that this industry will go and grow and develop, and there's going to be other new type of projects that will have coins that are actually viable.
So what's fundamental that's not commits on GitHub, follower on GitHub, mentions on Twitter and Telegram users? Is there anything outside of that? Like what fundamental thing exists outside of that?
On-chain data in terms of transaction size and whether the transactions on the chain are related to trading or actual use of the token itself, and what therefore is sort of the user base.
I'm sure that's all technical, not fundamental, but I mean.
Okay, well.
Look, hey, it might work, but you're targeting like the smallest ass market possible. Like I'm a successful YouTuber in crypto. I have 50,000 followers. That's garbage. Right? In the real world, that is utter trash. Like you would be sad to tell people that. But in crypto, it's quite good because there's just nobody in it, right? So I'm just telling you, you can make more money doing the same stuff.
If you compare to a fashion YouTuber, yes. Maybe you should change.
Taha, would you like to add something?
Yes, you can add one thing over here. In your project, you can also introduce some fiat. What it will do is that you can target banks, to be a part of your, or some banks, because with that you can gain market, okay? Or else you can integrate yourself with some technology provider like Amazon or something, and to have some integration with this to be able to get the trust of the users and also to be able to get the users. So that's the thing that you can also do.
Okay. Well, one of the things we're contemplating is actually white labeling this platform for the exchanges themselves. Since everyone's very focused on trades execution, but no one's really helping the users actually create or help them decide on what to buy and what to sell. Why should I be selling a certain coin? Can I create an investment strategy or framework?
I don't want to cut you off, but you're probably over time already. If you're describing a very complex, badass product, which is what you've described, you need to show us the actual product. Because
I do have some slides. I just was running out of time.
No, we can.
It's too late now, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Show us what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to do that in 3 minutes.
Yeah. So. Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you. Yeah. Our next project is Agrella. Welcome on stage.
Hello, Jerry. Hello, participants. My name is Marko Pilisner. I am in the team of Agrello. What is Agrello? Agrello is a secure identity for legally binding contracts. So what do I mean by that? Like, still today, many people are using paperwork to sign contracts. To me, it sounds fascinating. Our idea is to make it one digital identity for you to log in wherever you are using or whatever you are using and sign the contract. Like, it's very simple actually. If you want to sign the contract, you just have to plug in your iPhone, do the KYC, and start doing contracts. So I'm going to show you how does Agrello work. So this is our app. You start by downloading the app. You do the KYC, which is really easy, mandatory. It takes up to 10 minutes. If you're from, like, I don't know, if you're from not a very popular country, it may take a day. You have your own digital identity there. It's one identity. You have your two-factor authorization, like your personal code. And the way you sign the documents is you log in, you open your documents, and you sign them. Like, so why would anyone choose Agrello over some random document signer that's free on the market? We have advanced secure signature. What does that mean? We are compliant with verifying the identities of the user. We have compliances for documents, for the containers. If you want to go more technical, we have ASIC containers, we have elliptic curve keys, but that's more technical talk. So you can do cross-border documents if you're doing business with companies that are not in your country. I think we have around 200 countries in the list currently that you can do contracts, and they are all legally binding. You can store your documents on the platform. We have like a cloud storage. Some clients even want their own servers. It's just for the client needs. It works on your desktop and pretty much on your every smart device, so it's easy to go around and do on the move if you want. So who are our clients and partners? We have partners, for example, for BlockHive, Dinect, CoinMetro that are using our system. Of course, we have more clients and partners, but the announcements are not that made yet. And our clients are mostly fintechs, exchanges, and human resource companies. Why is because they use documents and sign them. Join for free. Thank you.
To understand it right, so you're more sophisticated DocuSign or?
DocuSign has many legal issues in the US, for example. They have many court cases. They are not legally binding. You do your account with an email. If anyone hacks your email, you're basically done.
Okay.
I mean, for me, a contract is useful as you need to use it in court to unscrew yourself from a counterparty that screwed you. I'm not sure that I would prefer having to take your documents that you got from the guy to court to try and get remedy. It feels like I would prefer to have seen the photo myself, seen the signature myself, got something a judge looked favorably on, like a scan of a document. It seems like, I'm talking out of my ass here, but it feels like there's a trade-off where if you needed to use these things in court, you may not have as compelling a case to the human judge that's viewing them. So I mean, I'm not disproving your business case. Obviously, DocuSign has got market share, and it does exist as a business, but I mean, it seems like you're only getting crypto clients. Maybe there's a reason you're only getting crypto clients. I don't know. Like maybe you have an advantage that you haven't told us about or you're not aware of. Why don't all the crypto guys just use the same digital signature thing that everyone else is using? Is it because of these court cases you're talking about? I don't know if any of those companies were even based in the United States. I don't think they were.
Maybe it's because our API is very easy to use. You can integrate it in your system. Just there's one identity. You don't have to do the KYC and the logins with different companies. It's all in one place.
So are you saying these crypto companies are actually using your servers for authenticating user login?
Yes.
Okay, well that's huge, and I don't think people use DocuSign for that, so that's a big advantage.
And is it only for digital signing, or are you working on a full SSI solution? Because then you come in the area of Aufort and other guys who are actually all working on this one.
Yeah, one part of the solution is the documents. Of course, everyone wants more contracts and AI and integrated, but we are not there yet. We see how it could be done, but we are not there yet. Of course, we are developing it, and it's a logical step to do. Everyone wants the automated process of it, but currently we are doing this.
But again, compared to a lot of existing initiatives, and most of them are centralized, by the way, but what is your advantage over them, except for the one example who has court cases? Because I work with several of these systems and they all work fine. And in the end, you never want to use them because it's only when you're in court that you have something like that.
Yeah, well, as I said, all our signatures and documents are legally binding, and it's not like just like if you go with them to court, they actually are binding. They are government ID'd, they are ASICs, containers are compliant, so you actually can't, if it's fine that...
You say government IDs, but by the Estonian government, or... because with SSI we're trying to sort of separate state from identity. So.
Yeah, actually we are not doing the KYC ourselves. We have a partner. he's very well known, has a lot of clients around the world, and we haven't gotten any problems with them, and it's going great.
Okay.
Can I have one additional question from my side? What is
Sure.
the point of the project if we have, like in Estonia, opportunity to sign the documents where is the Estonian ID card and we can apply for a residency and every person can apply for this and then sign? This is like the same one?
Actually, Smart ID is basically very similar to us.
Yeah.
We just want to do it globally. Well, Smart ID is Estonian-based thing. Only Estonians can do the signing and things. Now they are expanding as well, but we want to do it globally as well.
Okay, so it's like copy of Estonian Smart ID, but like globally?
It's not a copy, it's a bit different as well. We are using the different apps, we are using the different interfaces, but the idea is the same, yes.
Okay, okay, nice.
You know what Hyperledger Bureau is doing?
Can you repeat?
Hyperledger Bureau, what they are doing. What Hyperledger Bureau is doing, there is one framework called Hyperledger Bureau.
I think he's saying a
It's from the IBM.
Hyperledger Burrow.
Yeah. So what they're doing is that they are having notarized service on their smart contract. Like it's a permission smart contract platform with some legal identity features. So what you're preparing over here, you need to understand the market first, that whether there are other competitors also in the market, or what is that value addition that you're giving in?
Yeah, well, everyone is trying to make compliances now. Even DocuSign has now official legally compliant. So that's the way it works. You can't look, because fraud is everywhere and you don't want to get in trouble. And if you already have court cases, then you might start thinking about it, that you're gonna get in more trouble.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Our next project is SmartCredit, yo. Thanks. Yeah.
So, hello guys. So let's wake up, SmartCredit, and I will pitch about major impact for the monetary systems, for the credit systems. So, actually, everything is very simple. It's about the credit money. Now, let's start with the credit. Credit is very old. It's 5,000 years old. Today, to produce $1 GDP, we need $5 credit. That's how it works. These are the facts. And credit is always connected with the credit money. The credit, everyone can give credit to other persons. Peter can give it to Alice, Alice can give it to Roman, and so on, so on. But the credit money is a transferable credit, transferable loan obligations. And today's fiat system has 90% credit money, 10% base money from central banks. Now, but the big question is, we are here in the blockchain sector, blockchain conference, CryptoFin. Where is the credit money in the cryptosphere? Where is it? Let's try to find it. Now, this is like a balance sheet of national economies. We have European Central Bank creating base money, and the commercial banks create credit money. We are lending on top of this. We have America doing the same. We have all 197 states doing the same thing. Where is now the credit money in the blockchain sector? We cannot find it. Now, what is the key problem? To become from credit to credit money, we need transferability. We need transferability of credit, of loan obligations. And so far, there are only 2 projects which are doing this. Everyone here should know MakerDAO and the DAI. This is one project. And we are the second one. The difference being we are interest bearing. We give interest to the holder. So we are DAI plus interest bearing. Okay, let's look fast how it works. So practically what we are doing, we are tokenizing the loan obligations, and we are making them transferable. The lenders receive the tokenized loan obligations. These are value protected, and they can use it to pay the next parties, and so on and so on and so on. And the holders on the end get the credit. We decentralize the credit. We decentralize the interest payments. Okay, let's skip. And now we are getting to our ecosystem. What is in for the users? 3 types of users. The first ones, the borrowers, consumers, very easy. It has to be very easy. It's 2-click consumer credit. For the lenders, very easy. It's tokenization, value protection, and interest bearing to the holder. And now, for the whales,
I think your idea might work, but I think it might take 2 hours to explain to people and hope that they understand it. It's like DAI, which no one understands, but a little bit harder. So, you know, it might work. It might be great. I still don't understand it. I'm a pretty smart dude.
oh, okay, let's try it this way.
If I take 2 Bitcoins credit from you, what do you need to give as collateral?
Okay, collateral, we are starting with ERC20s, but we will extend as well Bitcoin and other major assets.
I want 20 Ether from you. So what do I need to give as collateral?
Okay, the collateral, okay, we have 43 selected ERCs, ERC20s which we are supporting. And now the big difference between us and other systems is we have automated credit rating system based on blockchain analytics and based as well on some other rating mechanisms. So we know how good the credits are. Now, if you're looking at the most of DeFi, non-custodial platforms, they don't know what is the credit ratings. They have always to prepare for the worst scenario, for the default. Now, we know the credit ratings, we have analytics behind, and therefore we can offer much more preferred conditions. Let's think of maker or compound. The collateralization ratio is 350%. We are going in with 150% because we know the client, we know the credit rating. Okay, just trying to explain.
Sure, could work.
Yeah.
Can work.
Oliver?
Will work.
It's, but that's just natural skepticism in this part is we kind of created this industry as well because the old industry created leverage problems due to these kind of constructions to the max after a while. So are we copying the old world and creating the old problems in the new world?
Definitely not. We have to speak about monetary system design. The current monetary system, we are mixing together fiat-based money and fiat credit money. In all monetary systems, what we had before, it was a clear-cut separation. We have always to go back to the base money. So being gold before the Federal Reserve was created. Now, if we are doing these things, we have always back reversal to the base money, which is missing now. We will solve most of these problems which we have with our current fiat, like a credit system. So, monetary.
I guess what he's saying is if your risk model is wrong, then the 150% collateralization will not be enough, and then you'll have tragic failure.
Okay, let me add a little bit more. It's not just collateralization. We have as well a concept of reserve funds. Like we have reserve fund concept. Like we have as well a concept of legally binding agreements, what Agrella was speaking here before. So we have multi-tier like a credit management, risk management system. Like most of systems now, they're looking just like a collateral. But what are the banks doing? We are ex-bankers. We're doing exactly the same as banks are doing.
Interest money.
I'm sorry?
Interest
In the same way as DAI, but it will be interest bearing to the holder. So.
Okay, thank you, Martin.
Need to look deeper.
Thank you.
Our next project is Aufort. Welcome on stage.
Never heard of that.
Clicker, yeah.
Never heard of that. Dr. Bernard from Madhouse.
Hi, everybody. I believe most of you know that cryptocurrency is very volatile and it can be a risky investment because its value can change greatly every day. Definitely for some people it can be a great opportunity, but for the majority it is a problem because most people are buying and selling at the wrong time. So what we do is that we help to take a lot of risk out of cryptocurrency. Our company allows to trade crypto for gold in a better, faster and more efficient way. Why gold? Because gold has been the most stable currency in the world and it is a safe haven asset. Our product solution works really easily. We will tokenize the physical investment gold. so that people can buy it with the lowest possible price on the market, that is spot price. So for instance, if person owns Bitcoin and he wants to protect himself from the price fluctuations, then he can trade his Bitcoin for gold really easily. And anytime he can trade his gold back to Bitcoin. In addition, he has two options. He can cash out in euros anytime with a global spot price at the moment. And he can also redeem it in a physical gold bar already from half grams. And that is the best or the coolest requirement on the market. He just have to pay for the production, that is refining and shipping. There are a few companies on the market who are trying to do something similar. But after we have take a closer look how they are doing it, we are 101% sure that we are going to do it in a better, faster and more efficient way. Why? Because all our platform is working on an e-commerce system. That means that account opening and all the purchases are really, really easy. And people can use it like in a really transparent way. What we have done until today is that we have experienced more than 5 years with a physical refined product. We have a direct contract with the metal producer. That is one of the most important things in our business. We have almost 1,000 clients. We have involved already 2 investors. And we have a really good strategical partnership with PXPay, who is offering crypto payment possibility on our platform. And in the near future, in the near months, we are going to involve third investor. Our company's pre-money value is 1.5 million, and we are asking 250K for.
Okay. Let's start with TAHA, please.
Yes, I really like your idea. And,
thank you.
You have done a great job in the presentation. I want to ask you that how will you inject the liquidity? If let's say that if the gold company, there's something wrong that happens with the gold company, which is not ready to give the gold. So how do you ensure that the consumer production is there, and what is their backup?
Yeah, that is a good question, and that is one of the biggest challenges. I think that IGR is a great partner for us, and definitely we will have great contracts with them. We will also insurance or the backup. So if anything happens, we are like injured. And it has to be said that this is not an ETF. If customer buys 10 gram gold, we will buy 10 gram gold. So this is 100% backed. It's not like any promise or something.
Okay, and will customer be getting all the insights, what you're doing, or whether their gold or whether their crypto is packed with that particular gold, or whether you are buying something extra, whether customer will having all the insights through your platform, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
I think, you need to understand if in cryptocurrency you're aware about the risk. So the argument, we're having a solution, and you will be surprised how many crypto people have physical gold lying at home, a lot, including me. Having a gold token, I think the problem in this industry is there are like 27, 30, something around this. So why there's not one standard?
Yes, there are like many companies who have tried to do it.
For you, like you basically, okay, it's like marketing, and you have maybe an unfair advantage in some markets. But like in Asia, I think there was one company now which tokenized 300 million.
Yeah, there are a few options, and we have like took a closer look, and there are like some hidden fees. And in the first site, you can see that it's like a good service, but eventually it will cost.
But even like Pax, no, what's called, all the stablecoin providers, they have now Paxos. They have also now gold. Binance is gold. Bitpanda exchange in German-speaking language is gold. So everyone is offering gold as well. So what's the advantage to go to you?
Do you know what is their like minimum requirements to get the physical gold? What is like the redemption fee?
Not really, no.
As far as I have made the research we have like the best option, as I said. If
But
customers...
is your plan that the people trade your gold token, or is it that you get physical delivery?
Both options, because people are different. Someone wants to hedge their risks.
Because I bought my gold, I just got an online store, like gold, silver, pool, or what's called. You send them Bitcoin, you get physical gold shipped home.
And what is the minimum requirement?
Well, not much, like even the small parts. So.
Okay. I have, my research shows that in Europe, the lowest requirement is that it's 1 ounce. Our company offers 0.5 grams.
The micro parts.
Yeah, this is a small part. This is the smallest part that is ever produced. And IGR is the only one who is producing it. All the other big refineries offer from 1 gram, but these companies who are offering like the gold token redemption in physical gold, the lowest possible thing is 1 ounce, but we have like
And you can
0.5
sell
gram.
1 ounce at spot, or is a high premium?
Yes, this gold token will be with the spot price plus our service fee.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next project is Dealin Solutions. Welcome on stage.
Okay, so Dealin Solution is a next generation loyalty program management platform. Our mission is to address the problems of transparency, user-friendliness for both the customers and businesses that are inherent to existing solutions, while making it usable and affordable to small and medium-sized businesses. Dealin Solutions is a startup founded by a team of blockchain enthusiasts with over 30 years of experience in software products, as well as reward and loyalty points experience. Our team is diverse, made up of Africans and Europeans, so we feel confident in entering both of those markets, starting in the UK. The problems we solve are that, 1, customers hardly know the balance of their accumulated rewards. This is solved with the Dealin platform, as the merchants create loyalty points in the form of non-fungible crypto assets. That balance, the points can be easily be tracked by customers from the Dealin customer application. 2, small businesses remain an undeserved market segment. The Dealin platform features a merchant dashboard from where a merchant can generate loyalty program crypto assets with complete control over program management costs, point redemption costs to their businesses, as well as monitoring the statistics of their programs. Transferability of rewards. When embedded in crypto assets, loyalty program points inherit all of the properties of crypto assets, including their transferability from account to account and exchangeability. 4, privacy. Currently, loyalty program management solutions are heavily exploit customer private data, like purchasing history. The Dealin platform is built with privacy at its core. So right now, the MPV is key. We're currently building our minimum viable product, and our goal is to have our first paid customers at the end of Q2 2020. This includes a back-end platform with endpoints to support our customer mobile application, our mobile business application, our merchant web dashboard, and POS helper API. Funding for marketing. We're looking to raise 300,000 to fund an STO campaign. We believe this is one of the best ways to raise awareness of the project. The market size is estimated in the US alone by 2022 will be 1,460 billion points. We estimate that the underserved SME segments in the UK and EU is 10 billion points generated yearly. In regards to utility token and equity allocation, we've decided to share a fraction of the revenue of a period to the holders of the Dealin token. This will be automatically executed via smart contracts.
So you basically want to become a loyalty platform provider for SMEs?
Basically, yes.
Okay, and you want that the user owns the data? Because I know this industry kind of well. The biggest issue, I was thinking the same. the biggest issue, all those shops, they want to mine the data and sell it. So if you then say no, so then they're not implemented, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
they want to know how much you spend, they want to know your history, they want to sell the data. So
They can get that history or elements of that history, but the privacy of the individuals is key in regards to how we are going to implement this product.
I know it's like we talked with like large organizations about this, and I think maybe some smaller ones that adapt to it. It will be interesting to see. Let's say.
He took my comment because the retailers want to screw the users.
Yeah, they want to screw the users. It's basically if you say to someone, so you're taking away what the main purpose of this product is normally. You know, start with things like punch cards. You know, physical punch cards.
Well, the thing is, with GDPR, obviously we're in Europe and GDPR is very important. So selling people's data isn't as easy as it used to be. So obviously, you have to have new techniques or new ways of making money and utilizing the reward and loyalty points platform and business industry. So it's not going to go anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere.
Want to focus like on small coffee shops, which has like 5 outlets, or?
Yeah, we're looking at small chains, but multiple chains. The market for these, particularly in England, is quite large, as well as in Eastern Europe. And like I said, our team is quite diverse. And then, of course, the African market is quite big as well.
So it's basically a software as a service product.
Sorry?
A software as a service product.
Exactly.
So you want to create these loyalty points, blockchain based, obviously. So coming back to this privacy part, how do you guarantee privacy? Because if you do more than X amount of transactions on a public chain, it's going to be considered private data anyhow.
That's a sort of technical question.
I think that the only blockchain part of her project is the fundraising part. I don't think she uses it for the points. Are you using the blockchain for the points or just your corporate equity?
Yeah, we're not using the blockchain for the points.
Okay.
Yeah. So she doesn't have anything to do with blockchain.
So where do you use blockchain?
So if you create loyalty points, and I want to share that with somebody else, so I want to give Jurgen my fair share of loyalty points, does it go to a traditional database that you guys keep track of? Or is it an ERC20-like token that I can directly peer-to-peer send to Jurgen?
Exactly, it's a non-fungible token. So it will be something that you can transfer with your friends and family.
So the tokens are registered on a ERC20 contract, whatever. And then again, if you do a lot of transactions to it from a certain accounting yourself...
then I'm taxable because we gave me some tokens.
It's a hard one.
The only tip that I would give you is really look at your data design in this one, because it's going to be very tricky with regards to GDPR.
Okay.
Here's my prediction. I think that you'll go cash negative trying to onboard new users. So I have a buddy. He started a vegan guide on how to, eat as a vegan in a certain city. And when tourists show up, they look, and just like your hotel, you got a guide. You got to physically walk into these stores and pitch them on giving you money to be in that guide. You're basically in the same business. A physical rep has to walk into a store, try and find a decision maker, try and explain technology to them. It's all a nightmare. It might take like 8 visits to even find someone that would be able to say yes, and let alone write you a check. When you start adding up how many hours it takes to send a rep in there to do that, you find out that any company that tried to do it would lose money, and the only reason that anyone who does it at all is because they just actually lose investors' money, and then maybe it works out one day when they have enough scale that people start coming to them. They don't have to do outbound sales anymore. And if you don't have enough runway of investment money from investors to burn through to try and discover whether you can actually get your cost of acquisition low enough, I mean, the decision makers that could say yes to this are so few. Like, I dare you to do that in this building. Like, find the guy that brings, conferences to this building and wants to offer some reward points for it. You ain't never gonna find that guy. You can knock on every door in this place, you'll never find the guy that can say yes to it. And a lot of stores are kind of similar to that. The decision maker's not in. So it could work at scale with a lot of money behind it, but I think you could test this personally by just taking your pitch that you just did here and go take it to a store every hour for 2 weeks and see how many people you can get to say yes, and save yourself a couple of years of heartache if you can't close those deals.
Okay. That's a good point. What I would say, I mean, there is walking into the stores, but there's also lots of communities online. I mean, the internet does make it easier to connect with those small business owners who are looking to offer something different, an incentive to their clientele. And also, there's also lots of organizations who want to utilize blockchain and introduce it to their members in regards to business associations, for small business associations. So if you go through them...
I think you'll find fear there because they're worried that they'll be introduced to competitors. So if you say you're going to list me somewhere, I care about how much better my business is than the other guys I'm listed next to. If it turns out that my business isn't that competitive compared to them, I don't want anyone else to discover this people, right? So you might find that those like communities of businesses aren't as excited to be listed next to their competitors as you might think.
Right.
That would be my fear anyways. I've been in retail before.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Our next project is ProperSix.com.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lars, and I am ProperSix. I'm here tonight to present our view on the 5th gen blockchain. It's not just a blockchain for us, it's a complete ecosystem with a first AI-based blockchain that can predict customer behavior and has a deep learning. We're also saying that we have the fastest exchange in the market with more than 5,000 transactions per second. The more we scale, as faster we actually get. We're using hydrogen MFA with 6 layers of security. We're introducing what we are saying world's first blockchain casino, own developed casino platform, own developed games based on 15 gaming engines. We have handled both cryptocurrency and fiat currency in the casino. In the same time, we are launching our own coin. It's a non-speculative coin based on the enterprise value. It will be launched as a token, and later on Q1, Q2 to 2020 to be our ProperSix coin on our own blockchain, of course. We also have our Prestige network, where you as a member can connect our credit card to your hot wallet and use our unique service, Crypto to Fiat. Both the exchange and the casino has white label solutions. We are creating value creation for users in multiple levels. So I'm Lars Lundqvist, I'm the CEO of the company. I have 25 years experience leading large corporations to great success. We have actually a strong board of directors with different nationalities and broad experience. We have an in-house team of 60 developers and commercial colleagues. We have a headquarter located in Malta with branches across Europe. And actually, we have a platform that is ready for launch now. I'm not here to showing fancy PowerPoints, nice-looking PDFs, some white paper for the future. We are here now, and we are ready to launch this. Our time plan looks like this. If you want to have more details, please visit ProperSix.com for more information. Or if you're going to Moscow the day after tomorrow on Blockchain Live, we have a stand there to have more time to explain you these things. We're also launching our own IU on our exchange the 21st of October. And if you visit ProperSix.com now, you get a bonus of 10% of what you want to buy later on within 1 week. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Anthony, he's my marketing manager. He's here helping me to answer the difficult questions from the jury here, because I'm pretty new in the industry. So please kill us.
The first question that pops into mind for me is 5,000 transactions per second. How do you do that? Is it permission setup or permissionless?
Well, what we did is we did our testnet first. We got 4,000 transactions per second on there. So when we go to mainnet, we should be touching more like 6. And the more we scale by adding...
But again, is it permission setup or permissionless?
What's that, sorry?
Is it permission setup or permissionless? It was based on? Completely self-developed, or do you use development of an existing stack? Or?
I forgot the question now, sorry.
Did you build the blockchain on your own or just fork someone?
Yeah.
What was that, sorry?
Did you build the blockchain
Yes,
on
we
your
built
own,
our
or
own
you just...
You built your own blockchain?
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, is it permission that you guys run all the nodes, or is it permissionless that it's free for anybody to become a node in your network?
It's AI based, so we're using the power of AI to do the transaction process, verification transaction process. So it has the ability to run the nodes, it has the ability to run public and private nodes, and a DEX.
Okay, I have two questions actually. The first question is that what controls have you in place in your system to avoid any attacks, because you are dealing with a lot of money? The second question is that what is the expected ROI? Do you have any set metrics that you know that, okay, once you achieve this ROI, you say that, or you will pay such dividends, or such things?
We have penetration testers at the moment trying to hack into the exchange and so forth, doing this 24/7 for the last 4 weeks. We only had 2 exploits which have been fixed. So yeah, and then the security on the exchange is 6 levels strong with a trade password. And we also have a hot and cold wallet, so the users can store their funds in the cold wallet, and they only become active when they put them in the hot wallet on trading through the exchange and play tokens on the casino.
So why do you build your own blockchain, your own exchange, your own casino?
Well, we built it all because we wanted to build a better version of the blockchain with AI using the empowerment of basically the nodes, which was missed in the previous generations.
And also to have a value creation for our coin, because when we have the...
So you basically do the IO for the blockchain and then the STO for the casino? Or?
The STO will come when the blockchain's ready. It's not ready yet, so that's why we're doing the token and it with 1-for-1 race.
You know, like IOs on your own exchange, they're not really IOs. So.
No, we call it that because we do it in our own exchange.
It's very sketchy normally if you do it on your own exchange. That's a little bit risky.
I saw your 5th generation blockchain. I don't know what the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th generations of blockchain are.
5th generation blockchain is AI and Internet of Things. That's
you notice we had Windows 7, and then we had like Windows 8, and then we didn't get a Windows 9. We got a Windows 10. They just skipped 9. Makes me wonder what happened to 9. I don't know. I think like.
So basically, you're running your experience in the gambling industry, I'm assuming, and now you're trying to attach blockchain to it.
No.
How do you run? You have already 60 people. I mean, 60 people cost you.
Yeah, we've got 4 teams. We've got a game development team as well for the casino. We've got 15 gaming engines already built, and we've also got a nice crypto slot.
So they're not your own employees, so you're using the money you're raising to fund your other businesses. You're most likely.
We already have our market cap.
So we have
so much proof. You would need to drown me in proof, because these are large claims. Like, I believe that outstanding claims require outstanding proof, and so you've got a new blockchain that isn't based on anyone else's, which means it's actually riddled with flaws, because it's the most complicated security product you could attempt to create. So it's 100% going to fail. You just don't realize it yet.
The issue is just in this industry, we hear the story like 6,000 times. And it failed 6,000 times.
There's one rule in security, and it is that you do not roll your own crypto. You will fuck it up. OpenSSL was hacked, and the whole world was supposed to have its eyes on OpenSSL, and the whole world let it down, and it had the heartbeat bug, and it just failed. So you're taking something that's nearly impossible to do, which is build a blockchain. Then you're adding throughput to it, and you're adding businesses on top of it, and each one of those multiplies the likelihood that there's a critical failure. So I don't know the amount of proof that you would have to show me that these statements are true. It would be large, because you're making absolutely gigantic claims.
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, guys, we need to move forward. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
your
much.
presentation. Thank you. Thank you. Our next project is blockchainlanguage.com. You're welcome, please. Do you need clicker?
Thank you. Natural blockchain language solves the problem
of easy maintainable blockchain code. The ICO winter shows us that making blockchains is not that easy. For example, the blockchain is write-only. How do you remove an error from a blockchain? How do you test a blockchain environment? You cannot make a copy of this huge distributed system and test it. So, natural blockchain language is based on a mathematical translation function. It translates one language into another language using mathematics. I better give an example. I give you two languages, for example, not an easy one, Estonian, and another one, English, and I give you the grammar, the ontology, the semantics of all these languages, and then the question, can you make a function from this one language to the other one language using only mathematics? This was a kind of exercise that was done by the academic world for over 100 years. Esperanto, made in Lithuania, Poland is an example of that. That was not easy. But if you translate English into a computer language, then it becomes a lot more easier. Language is a human most powerful tool. It's there to transfer knowledge and trust. Basically, trust, the same thing as the blockchain. We believe that a language layer on top of the blockchain is needed to guarantee us maintainable code, and also a code we can generate in a fast and easy manner, because the one who is having the toolbox to generate code faster than its competition probably will win the race. It doesn't matter if you make a credit system, a gold system, a casino, whatever it is. At the end, it comes to the one who is having the best tools to build such a system. That's probably the winner of this digital race. We are a foundation from the Netherlands. We are here in Estonia. We believe that Estonians are really a savvy country. They also can keep a secret. So we like to bring this language, this mathematical secret, to Estonia to develop the Estonian version. And the one who is owning that compiler, in this case the Estonian organization or government, sees all the code that goes through and has the intellectual property. That's also a major point. And I see my time is run out.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I don't want to take up too much time. I mean, I could...
No, just so you're claiming that you found a way to have a full formal verification method for testing code where nobody managed to do so before?
Well, there are several projects in the world, like Cardano, that's an open source project. But in the Netherlands, for example, Python is made. Python is the most readable language. What we have done, and we are a spin-off of the University of Groningen, is that we basically stripped that of a lot of functionality, and the trade-off that it became a lot more readable. And of course...
I disagree with nearly everything that you've said. Almost every single word. First, this premise that you can add an abstraction layer on top of something and then somehow remove complexity is stupid. Things get more complex as you add on top of them. And then when you find a bug and your abstractions start leaking, you have to get back underneath to see where the abstraction has leaked, right? The concept that, like, that the languages haven't already figured out, like we can transpile code from one thing to another. It makes it harder, not easier, right?
Oh, yes, I got your point, but
and removing features sucks. It's not, that's the reason we have new languages, is to get new features.
No, I believe there is something missing with the blockchain. The blockchain was made to prove that a coin works. It was made with this purpose.
You've said other things that are patently false. You said it's write only. Maybe you meant read only, but surely it's not. And we have hard forks to resolve conflicts all the time. We have orphaned blocks all the time. We already resolve conflicts by looking at which chain is the longest.
You cannot fork everything all the time. We also put into our compiler, a mechanism to change something. And no one solved the problem to change something in this write-only environment.
You keep saying write only. It's not write only. It's primarily read. Why do you keep saying write only? It's primarily read. It's the majority of the use is people reading it. The vast minority of the use is people writing to it. You have to pay a fee to write to it. You can read it for free. You keep saying write only. Do you know what that means?
Okay.
One more question for Olivier and...
Yeah, because I like to go to...
Yeah, you mentioned UBL, but and you mentioned Groningen spin-off. Is this something different than Nordchain and Ole? Or is it the same thing? Is it...
They are the same people, you know them. You know them people, and I'm from the foundation that had that code, and we have that legal, and we spread it around to Europe.
Okay.
So basically, you know the code, and it's on the internet.
Are you a developer?
People from
Are you a programmer?
Yes, also, and I'm from the foundation, spreading the same code of.
Yeah, you can't remove bugs by adding complexity on top of bugs.
It's a pure first order predicate order logic translation function, and you can prove that it works. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. We need to move forward. We have the last one startup. We are very late, so I'm very thankful for your presentation. And our last project is Demiurge. Is it correct pronunciation? Okay.
That dude is not a developer.
I didn't know what he was doing.
Okay, hi. So, basically I will probably start with the nuclear power plants, spaceships, and some stuff like this. And I will end with the paper contracts, which we'll have until today. And it's still running like for let's say, yeah, you want to build a spaceship, and it's one contract, but if you go deeper, actually it can be 500,000 of contracts. And it would be very nice if, can I just stop it somehow?
Can we stop, please?
Okay,
it's moving.
So, yeah, what we actually doing. So first what we are doing is making smart contracts, more privacy. So how we are doing this is making a polymorphic engine which runs the same commands totally different. So even if attacker want to steal some data from client device, it will be very, very hard. The second step is P2P, which is mostly heard here as decentralized or distributed network. And another cool stuff is personal blockchain. What actually is missing, in my opinion, in most of the projects, actually people can't create their own blockchain, and it's not good because when I first time saw blockchain, I wanted to play with it, but I really can't. What I can do is just read how it works, and that's it. Another interesting stuff, for example, for Ethereum, there is called Oracle. Oracle is a kind of service which allows you to ask internet for some data to execute then in smart contract. And actually this is also not good because you are giving third party your data, private data. And actually we are coming to one very big system which can be decentralized, distributed, centralized, which can be adopted via plugins, which can be deployed on many, many different providers. Providers is another interesting thing, but I think my time is over.
Okay, you might need it.
Does anyone else want to do it? Should I do it? Does someone else want to do it?
No. I'm a bit puzzled.
I can do it. Look, man.
No, but you're talking about polymorphic engine? Are you trying to replace the world computer that works on homomorphic cryptography? What is it? I'm a bit lost what you're trying to create. It sounds like a very big spaceship, that's for sure.
So basically, I want to create application which will allow you to create your own blockchain.
Like a trust chain, multi-chain initiative.
Yeah, which with our hiring system, what that means, actually, currently blockchain have big issues with scalability. And one of solutions, might be solutions, is a kind of archiving blocks which are not used. For example, how they do in Bitcoin, they are just using old hashes of the blocks. They are not using full data, but just hashes. But it's still growing and growing and growing. And to solve this, you can just cut a big piece of blockchain, move just on another machine, server, or whatever. And how it will work, you will just, in one moment, say, this block is now pointing to the different server. And chain is going not like...
Now you lost me again.
Maybe.
Because I think
Maybe
you need
it's
the
the
full
next
history in
Vitaly
order
or
to
not,
get a
I
full
don't know.
picture.
Bruh, it sounds to me like you're talking straight gibberish. So do you know what, so he said homomorphic encryption. I know what that means. Do you know what that means? I don't think you actually understand how blockchains work. Do you know how blockchain works?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you said that you couldn't work with blockchains and couldn't make your own, even though they're open source and they're all on GitHub, and you can just go download the same software that everyone else is running and just change the port, and now you're your own blockchain, right? Or drop in another proof of work, and now you're your own blockchain.
That's true. But can you run this on your mobile phone with the beautiful smart?
It's over, mate. You're done. No, you can't run it on your mobile phone because your mobile phone sucks balls, because it can't do proof of work, because anyone that ran on a real computer can 51% attack you. Blockchains are only as useful as other people use them. If everyone is on their own blockchain, they have no utility whatsoever. They're a way for people to communicate. Like tokenizing the whole world and having a toilet paper token and a flush the toilet token and a turn on the light token and a enter the bathroom token are all horrible. That makes the world a worse place, right? The reason that we use currencies in the first place instead of trading chickens for cows and such is because it's an effective way to do commerce, right? So more tokens is worse, more blockchains is worse. I don't think you understand how the blockchain actually works. So I hate almost everything that you said. I think you're dropping buzzwords out here trying to convince people to throw you money for something.
No.
Okay.
Can I see your GitHub? Can I see your commit history to software projects that you've donated your time to, so that I know that you actually understand what you're talking about?
Of course.
Like, what's your username on GitHub?
Lubuger.
What?
Lubuger.
What?
Lubuger.
Lolbugger.
Yeah.
You might be a developer.
Might be.
That username?
50 on 50.
You might be.
Okay, any other comments for no? Okay, thank you. The first award is provided by our sponsor, BTC Alpha. It will be the certificate for listing on their platform. The second one will be, you can have applause. The second one will be the present from our partner Cointelegraph Fund. It will be like a promoting kit that includes the article about the company, the banner promotion, and the project will be listed in their own investment community. And the third award will be the gold stand for the next CryptoFin event. So can we have like music and we will discuss for 3 minutes and after we will announce. It was hard discussion. It wasn't easy to decide. All projects are very interesting and thank you all startup pitchers for their presentation. It was really interesting. We are quite late on timing, but anyway, thank you for your patience. So our first winner of the presentation by our sponsors BTC Alpha, I would like to ask you to join us on stage. So our winner will be the project Wonderbit. Woo! Here you go. To make it more official. Good job. The gold stamp for the next CryptoFin conference goes to Cashaa. Woohoo! Thank you. Okay, thank you. Our last certificate provided by our sponsor, Cointelegraph. Alex? Yeah. Goes to Valega Chain. Woohoo!